Good day, ma'am. We are the Group 4 and we will be presenting the Module 3, Lesson 8, Asian Regionalism. So when we say regionalism, it is a study of behavior that emphasizes geographical region as a unit of analysis and stressing the relationship between the man and its immediate physical environment. So, government, associations, societies, and groups formed regional organizations or to serve as network to address the challenges of world brought by globalizations, because we all know that globalization has made up people be aware in the world in general. While regionalism, it's not just talk about economic and political phenomenon. Rather, it encompasses a broader area wherein it relates to identities, ethics, religion, ecological sustainability, and health. Also, regionalism, it refers to socially emergent constituted phenomenon, which means regionalism is not just natural or inborn. Rather, it is constructed by policymakers, actors, and the people in the society itself. So, this lesson will not just going to talk about economic and political phenomenon. Rather, it will also explore the broader area of it, like the identities, ethics, religions, and etc. And also, to conclude the question, why are these regions bringing us as a members of a nation and as a citizen of the world? Reporters, come and go!
Today, my name is Lynette G. Tangop from BSN Trep 1A, and I'll be the one who will explaining the different definitions of regionalism. In the book of Claudio and Abinales, globalization's challenges are addressed by the form of governments, associations, and groups from regional organizations or networks. But before that, we'll first tackle what is regionalism. We all know that globalization has made people more aware of the world in general. But in the Philippines case, the people became more aware of the Southeast Asia. That the Philippines can also be identified as a country in the Southeast Asia. Regionalism conveys the sense of intentional, top-down region building involving intergovernmental collaboration, which means that governments or neighboring countries integrate with one another's policies and support each other's economic growth. While regionalization is a growing interaction between neighboring countries with cooperation with each other, which means that the interaction of the people in those countries leads to cooperating with each other. Also, according to the book of Claudio and Abinales, that regionalism is often seen as political and economic phenomenon, which indicates that it has a broader area to identify. So what I have said a while ago, that regionalism is the collaboration of governments of the neighboring countries. However, regionalism can also be examined in relation to identities, ethics, religion, ecological sustainability, and health. Example of this is in the identities of the people who lives in Southeast Asia. The people's physical features are almost the same, like the skin color, which is Moreno or Morena. You can identify Southeast Asian people as Morena and Morenas. Another thing is regionalism is also a process and must be treated as an emergent, socially constituted phenomenon, which means that the regions are not natural or given, but it is constructed and defined by policymakers, economic actors, and even social movement. It is dependent on the events of or phenomenon that happen in these countries that can change or mold into regions. According to Edward D. Mansfield and Helen V. Milner, the regions vary on political and economic aspects. However, there are certain basic features that everyone can agree on. First is regions are a group of countries located in the same geographical specified area or an amalgamation of two regions or a combination of more than two regions organized to regulate and oversee flows and policy choices. which means na regions is consist of two countries with interdependent and interrelated policy, choice, and economic flows. Example of this is countries here in Asia. We can call the countries here in Asia as regions. Second is the word regionalization, and regionalism should not be interchanged because regionalization is a regional concentration of economic flow, where the economic flow of those regions is focused, and also it divided into a regions or administrative district. While regionalism is a political process characterized by economic policy, cooperation, and coordination, where it focuses on the laws or policies that must be administered in that region. Another definition of regionalization is it refers to the growing density of interaction and cooperation between neighboring countries. Example of this is establishing the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries or OPEC by Iran, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela to regulate the production and sale of oil. The countries cooperate with each other by creating regional organization to expand their resources, get better with their export, as well as to expand their leverage against trading partners. The integration of those countries became a source of power since the world is highly dependent on oil to produce power or electricity. However, according to He and Inoguchi 2011, regionalism is an inspirational and revolutionary involving the reorganization of political, economic, cultural, and social lives along the lines of an imagined region rather than according to the standard political unit of the nation-state. They point out that regionalism evolved with the social lives and those political, economic, culture, and political views of a particular region rather than the nation-state's standard political units.
Good day everyone, my name is Loris Enriquez Ata and I will be discussing the continuation of what regionalism is. Regionalism is a complex concept that surrounds various factors such as environmental, economic, social, and governmental influences. Marshall E. Dimmock explains regionalism as a phenomenon where a distinct consciousness of separate identity within a larger whole emerges, leading to the need for autonomous planning, the expression of cultural twists, and a desire for administrative freedom. It says that regionalism can be seen as a way of life. Also, regionalism can be understood through the lens of political science and sociology. But in the political perspective, regionalism can be seen as a manifestation of a concept of federalism, where power and decision-making are centralized to regional levels. This allows for regions to govern themselves autonomously within the larger framework of a nation and state. Regionalism can also be viewed as a reaction to globalization and homogenization of culture, where regions seek to preserve and promote their unique identity and traditions. Regionalism can be seen as a form of identifying politics, where individuals within a region identify with their local culture and heritage. Regionalism can also play a role in social movements and activism, where regional identity is used for rallying point for political changes and social justice.
Good day everyone, I am Jasmine Calixterio Gudinas from BSN Trap 1A. Today, we will gonna discuss the regionalization and globalization. Regionalization. Regionalization is described as the practice or trends of separating region into little portions and dividing huge area into regions or districts. Regionalism is defined as the political goal of creating a legally binding agreement between states on a geographically limited scale. In other words, breaking a large area into small ones. This is the process by which geographers identify regions. One of the most well-known examples of regionalism is the sectionalist conflict that gave rise to the American Civil War. The North was more industrial and the South was more agrarian. In the North, slavery was illegal. In the South, slavery is legal and seen as a prominent part of the Southern life. In the Philippines, the Filipinos are divided geographically and culturally into regions, and each regional group is recognizable by distinct traits and dialects. The sturdy and frugal Ilocanos of the north, the industrious Tagalogs of the Central Plains, the carefree Visayan from the Central Islands, and the colorful tribesman and religious Muslim of Mindanao. Tribal communities can be found scattered across the archipelago. The Philippines has more than 111 dialects spoken owing to the subdivision of the basic regional and cultural groups. And now, let's move forward to the globalization. The term globalization refers to the increasing connectivity and interdependence of the world due to trade and technology. Globalization refers to the acceleration of movements and exchanges of people, products and services, capital, technologies, or cultural practices throughout the world. It is also encompasses the resulting changes in the economy and society. Thus, globalization can be defined as the stretching of economic, political, and social relationship in space and time. Automobile manufacturing make use of spare parts from different countries and is finally assembled in one country. Computer parts and accessories are manufactured in a foreign country and are sold in another country. Overseas workers send about $10.7 billion back home in their families, which in return help the Philippine economy. This considered is an example of globalization because it opened an economy to foreign trade and policy. The difference between globalization and regionalization is that globalization refers to international integration arising from the interchange of worldviews, product and ideas, and other aspects such as technology. And regionalization is that the division of an area into smaller segments called regions. Globalization promotes the integration of economies worldwide, but regionalization tends to oppose integrations and bring divisions. There is a free market and opportunity to trade internationally with globalization, while regionalization promotes monopolization. Globalization tends to propel multiculturalism, but regionalization creates boundaries and distinctive culture. Due to globalization, a community can help others worldwide, but a regionalized system might choose not to get involved in foreign matters. Globalization led to advanced technology because of sharing ideas, while the regionalized system tend to lag. The similarities between globalization and regionalization include that these terms are social drivers that can either unite or divide people. Also, both entities can be used in politics, society, and economies. Globalization and regionalization have led to a removal of certain traditions and cultures in society. This happens when people become a global village and other distance themselves from the rest of the world.
Good day everyone, I'm Michael Janar Corayag. After we tackled the definition of how regionalization works and how countries develop to become a region. And now we will tackle on what are the benefits of regionalism in Asia. According to ADB's report 2008, the following are the benefits of Asia regionalism. Competitive strength of its diverse economies in order to boost their productivity and sustain the region's exceptional growth. This means is by connecting and utilizing the strength of different economies, and the result of this is to increase productivity and productivity and sustain the impressive growth of that region. Like for example, region with multiple countries, then each country is having its own strengths in terms of resources, industries, skills, or etc. If these countries work together, they can enhance their overall productivity, and they can produce easily and faster. Connect the region's capital markets to enhance financial stability, reduce the cost of capital, and improve opportunities for sharing risk. This means is you need to work together and help each other as a group of countries located and in the same geographically. If some countries faces an economic crisis, like for example, other countries decide to connect their stocks markets of their countries. So these collaborations allows business in these countries to access capital more easily and at lower cost. And if one country faces an economic challenge, we need to help that market share and manage the financial risk. Cooperate in setting exchange rate and macroeconomics policies in order to minimize the effects of global and regional shocks and to facilitate the resolution of global imbalance. It's about countries working together to manage their currency exchange rates, and economic policies. So this collaboration is aimed at lessening the impact of global and regional economic challenges and addressing the imbalance in the world economy. Example, let's say we have country X and country Y teaming up to tackle economic challenges. If there is a worldwide economic issue, these countries work together by adjusting their money, values, and economic strategies. It's like neighbors helping each other to make sure everyone is okay. Pool the region's foreign exchange reserve to make more resources available for investment and development. Means that countries in a specific area combine their money savings. So this collaboration helps them have more funds together to invest in project that benefits the entire region. Then that funds could be used for projects such as building cross-border, like highways or energies network that benefits all participating nations. So that is my part. So I will pass the mic for Mr. Quijada.
Exercise leadership in global trade and finance is crucial for sustaining an open global trade and financial statement that supports economic development. Exercising leadership in global trade is vital for establishing and shaping rules, agreements, and practices that govern international governance. Leadership also helps to promote fairness, stability, innovation, and economic development. It navigates challenges, resolves disputes, and builds trust among nations, and by this, our world becomes increasingly interconnected. Also, the facts of leadership are global trade will lead us or will continue to be paramount in fracturing property and sustainable growth for a nation worldwide. Number 2, build connected infrastructures and collaborate on exclusive development to reduce inequalities within across economics and thus to strengthen support for pro-growth policies. For this is connected infrastructures refers to a system and networks that are interlinked and equipped with technology to enable to communication or to communicate or data exchange and coordination between various components. It often involves integrating sensors, actuators, and communications device into physical infrastructures as transportation system, utilities, and buildings to enhance efficiency, sustainability, and safety. For example, these electrical grids use sensors and communications technologies to monitor and manage the flow of electricity in real time. This allows for more efficient use to resource, reduce energy costs, and improve reliability. Number 3 is creating mechanism in managing cross-border health, safety, and environmental issues are collaborate frameworks. Establishing among neighborhood or regions to address shared challenges. For these mechanisms is also facilitates communication, coordination, and cooperation among the participating nations to develop and implement policies, regulations, and initiatives aims at promoting health, safety, and environmental protections across the borders. For example, joining monitoring program formation, sharing system, and mutual assistance agreement, and regional organization decided to addressing specific issues like air or water pollution, and etc. Such mechanisms help to ensure that actions taken in one area do not adversely affected neighborhood regions and promote collective efforts to address common concerns effectively.
Good day, I am Sarah Nicole Eldiginion, and today I'm going to discuss about the benefit of the world to Asian regionalism according to ADB. So first, generate productivity gains, new ideas and competition that boost economic growth and raise income across the world. When countries in Asia come together and engage in regional cooperation, it can lead to increased productivity, the emergence of fresh ideas, and healthy competition among nations. This can result in economic growth for both Asian countries and the rest of the world. The increased productivity, new ideas, and competition that I mentioned earlier can contribute to overall economic growth not only in Asia but also globally. As Asian economies grow, it can lead to increased trade and investment opportunities, which can benefit countries around the world. This, in return, can lead to higher income for individuals and business globally. The second is contribute to the efficiency and stability of global financial markets by making Asian capital markets stronger and safer, and by maximizing the productive use of Asian savings. In short, Asian regionalism can have a positive impact on the stability and efficiency of global financial markets. When Asian countries work together regionally, they can strengthen their own capital markets, which can lead to more stable and secure financial system in Asia, which can have a positive spillover effects on global financial markets. Asian countries have a a significant savings that can be utilized for productive investment through regional cooperation. This can be effectively channeled into projects and initiatives that can benefit both Asia and the global economy. This can contribute to the overall efficiency and productivity of financial markets worldwide. So, in summary, when Asian countries work together, it can lead to better results for everyone. More growth, more income, stronger and safer financial system, and better use of savings. One of the examples of Asian regionalism that gave benefit to the world is the ASEAN. Countries work together to make our economies more connected. They have created a shared marketplace and produced goods together. This cooperation has led to more trade and investment within the group. This increased activity boosts our economies and make everyone in the region wealthier. This wealth doesn't just stay in Asia, it also benefits the rest of the world. That's all, thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. I'm Jim Bayan from BSA 1.
Here's the continuation of the benefits of ADB. In 2008, the Asian Development Bank, ADB, highlighted several benefits of Asian regionalisms for the world. These benefits can be understood in terms of economic stability, leadership, and global trade and finance, and addressing global issues like health, safety, and environment. Diversifying source of global demand ay isang diskarte na naglalayong palaganapin ang paglago at pag-unlad ng ekonomiya sa iba't ibang rehiyon, not just the major economies. Asian regionalism encouraged diversification in trade partners and markets. For instance, if one country face economic downturn, others within the region can help stabilize demand by maintaining trade relationships. When some countries like Philippines and Thailand encountered economic challenges, other countries such as Japan and South Korea provide support by assisting in the creation of programs and projects that strengthen the economies of the affected countries. Sa ganitong paraan, nakatulong ang rehiyon sa pag-stabilize ng demand at sa pagtulong sa mga bansang naapekto. Second, provide leadership to help sustain open global trade and financial system. Asian regionalism can provide leadership, and maintaining open global trade and financial system is crucial for promoting economic growth and stability. Countries like United States, China, and the European Union play vital roles in steering global trade policies and ensuring the functioning of financial system.
Example, during times of economic uncertainty, the leadership of these entities is essential in fostering cooperation, resolving disputes, and upholding the principles of free trade, which are fundamental for global economic stability. For instance, the World Trade Organization (WTO) plays a critical role in providing a platform for negotiation and dispute resolution to ensure that global trade is conducted fairly and transparently. Moreover, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) promotes financial stability and monetary cooperation globally, ensuring the smooth operation of the international financial system. Last, create regional mechanisms to manage health, safety, and environmental issues better, and thus contribute to more effective global solutions of these problems. Regional mechanisms established through Asian regionalisms can better manage health, safety, and environmental issues. For instance, collaborative efforts among Asian countries can lead to more effective response to health crises such as pandemics, enhance safety standards in various industries, and address environmental challenges through coordinated policies and initiatives. The COVID-19 pandemic serves a poignant example of the importance of regional cooperation in addressing global health crisis. Asian countries, through platforms such as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperations, have collaborated on measures to contain the spread of the virus, share resources, and facilitate vaccine distribution. These regional effects have not only helped to mitigate the impact of the pandemic within Asia but have also contributed the global efforts to combat COVID-19. This regional approach has been essential in managing the health crisis. These rules all contribute to a more balanced and resilient global economy and help address global challenges more effectively. By working together, we can ensure that the benefits of globalization are more evenly distributed and that no country is left to face these challenges alone.
Hi there, Fox. So now we are here in the characteristic of regionalism. Let's go. Wait. So the first one is the local identity, which means strong local identity and loyalty to the region. In political perspective, according to my research, it is an ideology that focuses on independence, freedom, and uniqueness. These are what politicians feel the essence of pride in the culture and the people with it, for in that case, they can utilize it to propose in such intra-regional trade to gain supporters. Another sense of local identity in regionalism is the manifestation of practicing singularities in cultural aspect and highlights the belief that regional interest must come first before the national interest. Its purpose is to elaborate local development and well-being, at times without considering others. Here, let me give you an example. According to the book of Claudio and Abenales, there is a form of regional blocks wherein to protect their independence from the pressures of superpower politics. The presidents of Egypt, Ghana, India, and Indonesia created the Non-Aligned Movement, or NAM, in 1961 to pursue world peace and international cooperation, human rights, national sovereignty, racial and national equality, non-intervention, and peaceful conflict resolution. It called itself non-aligned because the association refused to side with either the first world capitalist democracies in Western Europe and North America, or the communist states in Eastern Europe. Hi Fox, have you already watched the example? Yes, but it still has disadvantages, wherein some supporters also argues that they are experiencing unfair or discriminatory treatment to the national government. But we cannot erase the fact that it still has advantages. Let me give you an example. In connectivity, according to the book of Claudio and Abenales, we have what we called non-state regionalism, where it is not only states that agree to work together in the name of a single cause, or communities. It also engage in regional organizing. This new regionalism varies in form. They can be tiny associations that include no more than a few actors and focus on a single issue, or huge continental unions that address a multitude of common problems from territorial defense to food security. New regionalism differs significantly from traditional state-to-state regionalism, wherein new regionalism advocates such as the NGO Global Forum see these issues as reflections of flawed economic development and environmental models. By when we say flawed, It means economic development plans that are market-based, profit-driven, and hardly concerned with social welfare, especially among those poorest of the poor. And because of that, regions will now properly function towards a progressive social and economic aspects. And lastly, always remember that if all regions will embark on creating development, relationship, and negotiation, then it will now serve as the nation's benefits as a whole. I hope that you've learned something on my part. Next part, it's your turn.
So, what is regionalism? Regionalism is a political ideology that favors a specific region over a great area. It usually happens due to political separations, religion, geography, and cultural boundaries. It's the economy, cooperation, and economic arrangements of a group of countries that aims to facilitating or enhancing regional cooperation. What is the difference between regionalism and globalization? Regionalism. It is a process of dividing area into small segments called region. It is a division of area. While on the other hand, globalization, it is a process by which the people of the world are unified into a single society and function together. So now, we already know a simple difference of definition about regionalism and globalization. Yes, they have differences, but they also have a connection. Regionalism also have connection to globalization, just like the lesson about globalization, our past lesson. It tackles about the interconnectedness of countries, the interconnectedness between the policies about tradings, about something like that, etc. So because of these things, these will make the regionalism become connected to globalization because of the word interconnectedness of the countries, because it becomes interdependent of to the other countries, just like for example, Philippines to China, they are being connected just by importing or exporting goods, something like that. So this will make regionalism become connected to globalization just because of the word interconnectedness of the countries. So basically, in the regionalism, their main goal was to increase or influence their political power into the other regions. Yes, so their main goal is to increase power and influence their political power to the other regions. Okay, so instead of having a centralized government, sa regionalism manggod, instead of having a centralized administration, ang mahitabo manggod dira sa regionalism is gina-assign nga head matag region. Each region na i-assign nga head. For example, yang region 1 or region 2, region 3, na i-assign nga mga head dira. So dili siya mahimong centralized administration lang. So like example, for isa lang jud ang magdumala sila, tagaan nyo na siya og head matag region, mao na siya sa regionalism. So One of the example of regionalism is the European Union, or EU. The EU is a political and economic union of 27 member states that is primarily located in Europe. It was established after World War II with the aim of promoting economic cooperation and preventing further conflict among European nations.
And that's the end of our discussion. Thank you.